wasn't good. Oopsie, oopsie. Come on, Kara, you can do this. Hey besties, today we are going to be making little collect books. Aren't they cute? I'm going to show you how I decorate them and get them all ready for a shop update. Before we get started, I want to show you all the supplies I will be using, just in case you want to make something similar yourself. Obviously, we have the binders. I have my hot glue gun and hot glue sticks. This is currently warming up. And then I have scissors. I have these pearls, and I have two different ways of using them. I have these sheets. These sheets are pre-cut to the size that I need. And these are just like on a full sheet of sticky. So you can cut them down any size and it'll have a sticky back. And then I took these pearls off of the sheet, and these I'll be gluing on individually. And then I'll be using lace. You could use lace, you could use ribbon, you could use all sorts of things, but I'm going to be using this ribbon that is like double ruffle, and then a ruler, just a simple ruler. I have 11 binders here. It was technically 12, but I've already finished one. So it comes, I have 6 different colors available. We have the blue, and then we have pink, this kind of dark minty green, yellow, black, and white. So I am going to show you what I do to decorate these. First thing I'm going to do is take my loose pearls, and I'm going to individually glue them around this heart. It does take patience to do this. I've found the best thing to do is to put the glue directly on the pearl and then glue it down. I did try lining it with glue, the heart with glue, but I found that it was just a little messy and it didn't look as nice when I put them down. Like there was always a little bit of glue globbing around, which, I mean, that's okay. It's obviously going to happen because it's handmade, but oh, no, that wasn't good. Let's see if we can fix that. Thankfully, most of this will be hidden. So we'll take off this glue as best we can. And then we're going to take our pearl again. I need to do this opposite. I'm right-handed and I'm trying to do things with my left. Just not good. So a little bit of glue, just a tiny bit. And then place it down. Okay. We have resituated ourselves. There we go. So really you just go all the way around. I like to do a little bit of each side at a time. So like I do a few on the right and then a few on the left. I find that it keeps it more symmetrical and looking better. But that just may be a me thing. So a little bit of glue. Like the tiniest amount. And you need to be careful too, because you will get the little strings of hot glue. They come up pretty easily. But see how that has hot glue strings? We don't want that. So we'll just wipe them off gently. There we go. And then we're just going to cover this entire thing. I think the hardest part about making these is getting the pearl put down the first time without like having to move it a bunch. And getting these symmetrical is really difficult too sometimes. And you also don't want to use too much glue because it's going to be showing around the edges if you do, which you like just barely have to, like that much glue is all you need for one of these pearls. I use the pearls that come on a sheet rather than in like a strip. I think if you don't want to glue these down one by one, the strip ones might work better for you. The sheets just do not bend, and you will have to glue them on individually if you want to do this. I use these pearls on the large binders I make too. It's just easier for me to use them for both products. Oh, got it on my finger and I got it on there. Oopsie.
Whoopsie.
You guys know that Jung Sub meme? He's so funny. Okay, last pearl. As you can hopefully see, there's like a bunch of hot glue strings everywhere. I'm gonna try to get some of those off now, but I also go over it at the very end with like some tape. Okay, good, good, good. Perfect. Now we need our lace. What you want to do when you are making these and you want to figure out how much lace you need, I like to over measure. So like this is about 7.5 inches. So I'm going to go in and add like 3/4 of an inch maybe on each side. So I'm going to need 9 inches. I'm going to round up to 9 inches. So when I cut this, just cut it like that. And then, this is the worst part. It got ruffled up when it was in the bag. Okay, so I need 2 pieces for this project. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the top, because this little hole right here meant for the ball chain, I want that so someone, if they want to add a charm onto this, can still use it. So take this piece of lace. I need to figure out where I need to glue this so that this is covered, but also that hole is still open. So I'm going to lay down my lace, and I think if I line up the white part right here with this edge, it's going to make it so that where I'll put the glue, this center strip right here, that'll still be open. So what I'm going to do, since I have figured out where I want this to lay, I'm going to start in the center, right below that little hole. Add some hot glue. Oop, oop, oop. And then I'm going to take my lace and I'm going to lay it down in the center, so it's centered, and then I'm just going to push that down and make sure that is stable. And now I can go in and find where the edge of that glue is and just go straight across. Move this over here because now I need to use my right hand with it. I'm gonna pull this back and find where the glue is attached. So right there. Then I'm going to do a straight line, or as straight as I can, all the way across. And then you just lay down your lace and you gently push it down. And the thing about hot glue is a little flexible. So even though I can bend this and it'll bend along with it. Isn't that cool? So I'm gonna lay this out again. And for the bottom, first off, this is curled all sorts of ways. So one thing I need to keep in mind is, how is this gonna look glued down? I think I'm just gonna lay this down. I think that's the way to go, maybe. Okay, We'll glue it like this, I think. I'm gonna lay this down so that the white edging here matches up with the edge of the binder. And I'm gonna hold this side over and lift it up so I can kind of gauge where I need to put my hot glue. Put it down and then try my hardest to not get that ruffled edge into the glue. There we go. And then once again, pull this up a little bit, find where the glue was, and then draw this all the way across. It's okay if it's not a perfect line. We will be covering up this glue with our pearls, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It's gonna be okay if it's not. That's the fun thing about crafting. Doesn't always have to be perfect. Okay. We have that side done. Same thing over here. Find the center. And then glue all the way across. And you don't want to use too much glue. You don't want to burn yourself when you're pushing down on this. So just very gently. And if it's too hot when you're pushing down, give it a second to cool and then push down. Okay. Moment of truth. Ta-da! Now we need to cut this off. So we're going to go and cut as close to this edge as we can without actually cutting the binder. Ta-da! Now we're going to flip it over and do the same thing on the back. One thing we need to make sure that we keep in mind is what type of ribbon or lace we're using. See how this is like, if I pull on this, all this thread comes apart? That's called fraying, and it doesn't look as nice, and it makes it so that the piece doesn't hold up as long. So what we want to do is, this is a polyester ribbon. So polyester plastic, you know, it melts when you put heat to it. So we're going to take a lighter. Now be careful with this, okay? This can catch on fire if you're not careful. So be careful with this, okay? And if you need help, ask an adult or anything like that. We're going to take a lighter and we're going to oh so slightly touch, like not even touch. You'll see how I don't even really have to touch it and it melts from the heat. Now you do not have to do this. If you're using like a cotton based lace, you don't have to do this. And some polyesters, you don't have to do this. But with mine, I know it's going to fray. So I'm going to take very gently any area that was cut and melt it very, very gently. You do not touch the actual ribbon with your fire. There we go. Sealed. There we go. All sealed up. And then that will keep it from, like, if we pull on this a bunch, it's not going to fray. Perfect. So the next thing we need to do is add on our pearls. I have these pre-cut so that these, I just have to, you know, cut it down. This is going to fit onto our thing right there. And I found the best thing to do for this is not to put the pearls all the way across, because when you do that, this is going to bend and it doesn't stay closed. So you're going to be constantly bending and opening everything. So the best thing I have found for me, for the type of pearls I use, is I'm going to take a few pearls, cut these up, cut 2 of them. So doing the top and the bottom. Pull off this backing. There's a backing that keeps it from being sticky. The stickiness touching me. There we go. Pull off that backing. And I'm going to like stick it to my hand for just a second because we're going to have to work fast with this one. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little tiny bit of hot glue, little line right there. And then we'll take our pearls and put it on top. Just over that middle section. There we go. Take your pearls and put it down. And you can move them a little bit if you need to. Okay, perfect. Now we'll do the same for the bottom. Get this ready. I found that it's easiest to pull off the backing and to like stick it to the back of your hand before you put the hot glue down. I have put the hot glue down before, and I spent the entire time getting the pearls ready, and then the glue is cooled down. See, that's almost too much right there, but that's okay. Put a little bit down. Gently tap it. Perfect. Next, we're going to do these. I think it's best for this one to have it folded. And put your glue over. And then I like to line this up with this pearl. And then we put this down. Oh no, I don't have it long enough. But that's okay. You just take some more of this. Looks like I need about 2 pearls. Take that. While the glue is still hot. Put this on. And we're good. Look at that. You would never have known. That one ready, and this one ready, and then we're gonna add our glue, and this hot glue gun is not wanting to cooperate with me. Okay, I'm gonna do the big piece first. Very gently put it down, and the little 2-piece. Get it as straight as possible. Look at that. Perfect. Now the back. I like to flip mine over. I don't know why. Just backing off. Let's do that. And then we'll push those down. And we are almost done. The last thing I want to do, forgot to mention this, I take some tape. This is not a necessary step. Just take a tiny little bit, and we're going to try to get up all these little pieces of hot glue that are on here. Because sometimes they get a little out of control. But I think that looks pretty good already since I did it beforehand. And I like to double check the inside because sometimes hot glue, like right here, can get on the inside. We don't want that. Here. Oh, we're good. And then I take this little ball chain. I'm going to feed it through. And when I ship it, I'll have the ball chain like attached already. So we don't have to worry about this whole thing happening again. So that is it. Very cute and quick project to do. You can always use different types of lace, different pearls. You can decorate it however you want. This is just a little tutorial to show you how I decorate mine. Feel free to use this as inspiration to make your own and to alter it however you like. Also, please note, these are PVC. They are not acid free. If you put your photo cards in here, it is highly, highly, highly recommended you sleeve them, at least one, preferably 2 double sleeves. And you switch out your photo cards every once in a while because PVC can damage your photo cards, and we do not want that. Thank you for viewing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!